So this was a most excellent film. What is going on, fellow board members? Welcome to the boardroom. I am Moritz, guys, and that's right. Today we are doing our review for Bill and Ted Face the Music. So there was a lot of concern going into this movie. We saw the panel a few months ago. I think it was a few months ago, last month, where they talked to the cast. There were some things that were concerning, but very excited to talk about this movie, guys. First off, I have to say that I enjoyed this movie. This was a fun movie. This was kind of everything I expected it to be. And maybe even a little bit more than that. Now, I wouldn't say this is a perfect movie by any means, but it is definitely something worth watching, especially, guys, if you are a Bill and Ted fan. Anyway, guys, let's get into the review. All right, guys, so before we get into this review, I just want to let you guys know this is a non-spoiler review, just so you guys can get an idea what this movie's all about, and then go see it for yourself. I don't typically do spoiler reviews on movies, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. So the first thing I want to take a look at here is the pacing of the movie. So the pacing of the movie, I would have to say, if I had one criticism, is the beginning of the movie does kind of take a while to get going. It's a little slow at first, but I chalk that up to, they're kind of giving you an idea of where Bill and Ted's life is, after so many years of not, being big or still trying to create that song to save the world, to bring the world together. So they do kind of set the tone with that. Now, I wouldn't say it was bad, but the pacing of the movie was a little slow at the beginning. But once you dive into it, once you start the time travel element of everything, it really does fall into line with the pacing. The pacing is good. They're hitting the right notes along the way, and I think lengths of scenes are very good. The movie does find a good pacing along the way. So the next thing is really of a personal opinion. I think that this movie is a lot like Bill and Ted Never Left. Really, it feels that way when you get into it. Keanu Reeves is still his character, still Ted. Bill is still Bill. I mean, they're the same characters. It's like they never left. And we get a ton of Bill and Ted in this movie. So if you guys are Bill and Ted fans, man, this is definitely something you want to see, because we get a lot of the Bill and Ted. It's like they had to make up for all the lost years of not having Bill and Ted. That's how much Bill and Ted that we have in this movie. So top notch there. So like I said before, guys, I was a little concerned about the daughters coming into this. However, I got to be honest with you, man. Despite all of the concerns coming up to this, I'd have to say the daughters knocked it out of the park. They fit the role very well. I feel like the timing that they were in the movie was perfect. It was actually a lot like there was really two stories going on. The daughter stories and Bill and Ted's story, and then kind of culminating at the end together to accomplish something. It's just really cool to see, and you can tell that the daughters really appreciate their dads. They really want to help their dads out with this, so that's why they go off on their little adventure. So it's just really cool to see that those characters worked out, and man, they acted the hell out of it. I mean, like, you would really believe that Ted's daughter was related to Keanu Reeves, at least that character, Ted's character, because they are literally almost mirrored to each other. So I really appreciated that. It is good. They definitely dove in with the acting chops and made it happen. So I would have to say the daughters turned out great. The element there, that element is not bad at all. And there really isn't a whole lot of woke things going on. You would think maybe with their daughters, but really, it doesn't really go in the vein of wokeness. It's just a good, fun movie feel-good movie is really what this is all the way. But yeah, anyway, guys, I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but the daughters worked out perfectly. I thought those characters were great. So I love a good time-traveling story, guys, and this did not disappoint. And like I said, at first it started off slow, but once the time travel kicked in, I mean, it really was a Bill and Ted movie, but it was kind of funny in the sense of, like, it's like, oh, we've been through this before. We're professionals at time travel. We know how to fix this. We know how to do this. And then the chaos ensues, which is awesome. But I love the time traveling element into it. There's these funny moments where they're kind of in and out of time, coming back to the moment oh, I forgot something. So they travel through time, come back. Oh, I forgot something. Handle what they have to do. Go back in, then go back to what they were doing before. It's just these funny moments that happen, during the scenes and stuff where you're like, oh, that's totally Bill and Ted. So love the time traveling element in this. Characters in this movie are very memorable. The new ones that they introduce are very memorable. They're fun. Like you'll never forget them. There's even characters that are in there for, a few minutes or even a few seconds of dialogue. You remember these characters. It's like every character has a really good personality, its own personality, and it all shines. So I really loved the different texture of characters through this. And along the way, you meet some really cool historical figures. Of course, it's Bill and Ted. Why wouldn't you? But not in the way that you think you do. So it's just a fun ride to see all these great characters and, some musicians they bring in that I really like. And appreciate it. It's just cool to see what they did for this, and it did not disappoint. Like I've been saying, it just did not disappoint. So along with that, there's these little moments of comedic genius, I think, that like kind of end caps on scenes that lead you into the next one. There's these little funny moments that really have nothing to do with the story in a sense, or further the story, but there's these funny moments that kind of hang you on. It's almost like there's a punchline to it. And I'm thinking of one scene in particular, and I'm not going to go into detail with it. Maybe, I'll talk with Tom over at Midnight's Edge After Dark about it. Shout out to Tom over there at Midnight's Edge After Dark. Actually, guys, he actually did a really great review. It's a published review over on Bounding Into Comics. I'll leave the link for that down below. Make sure you guys go check out that review, check out that article, show my brother Tom some love over there on Midnight's Edge After Dark. He's the one that inspired me to do this, man, and it's great to have somebody I can connect to and love this stuff. But like I said, they had these great these comedic end caps on these scenes that just really brought you into the next scene and made you smile the whole time. And I love that, guys. I really did love that. So for some of you out there who may be concerned about the Rufus character, I don't think a lot of people were concerned about it. They pay very good homage to the character. He's not in the movie for very long, but there is dialogue along the way that definitely pays homage to him. And they do not disappoint in that either, man. It's just great to see them, a character that's beloved throughout this entire franchise, for them to actually pay homage and respect that source material, just really, it warms my heart. It's good to see that people can, like, this is a good example. People can respect continuity. They can respect, original source material. It is possible, and this is a perfect example of that. And the thing with this, too, is the daughters earned their way through it. They proved themselves. There's even a line in the movie where Death says, you have to, earn your way to rock. You have to earn your ability to rock. And I feel like, the daughters did do a good job. They had to go through their journey and stuff, too, to learn some things. So, like I said, man, I give credit to those characters. So Death nailed it. Death was one of the best parts about this movie, I think. It really added some interesting elements to it, some really good comedic elements to it along the entire way. And it just felt right to have Death in this. I don't think you could have done this movie without him. So kudos for you guys actually sticking with Death and keeping him in there. That's just awesome to see it. He nailed it, guys. And in kind of an interesting way, by the end of this movie, you kind of really think about your own mortality in a sense. It really kind of gets you thinking about what you want to do with your life. Your life is short, so go out and do something that you want to do. If there's a dream that you want to pursue, go out and do it. If there's something that you need to do to make yourself feel good, go out and do it. It kind of makes you think that way in a fun and comedic sort of way. Not really a sad. It's like I said, this is a feel-good movie. There's really no sad parts to it. But it just makes you feel good inside. So yeah, it does kind of make you look at your own mortality in a way of like, I really need to start enjoying life a little bit more. All right, guys, so my final thoughts on this movie. I definitely would have to say I give this movie a solid 9 out of 10. And the reason I give it a 9 out of 10 is because, like I said, the pacing at the beginning, and there are little nitpicks here and there. But all in all, you can't have a perfect movie, but this is as perfect, I think, as it's going to get. I think this was a great homage to the characters, the universe that these characters exist in. It was a great nod to the fans. I mean, this is really fan service at its finest. So it definitely gets a solid 9 out of 10. If you guys are a fan of Bill and Ted, go see this movie. Rent it. Go to the drive-in. I know they're showing them at the drive-in, which I think would be really cool. Who doesn't want to see a Bill and Ted movie at the drive-in? Sounds awesome. Anyway, guys, if you are a fan of Bill and Ted, see this movie. Go see it any way that you can. I'm not sure what the pricing is, and I think you'd buy it for $24. I don't know. Just get your hands on a copy of this movie and stop wasting time. If you are a fan of Bill and Ted, see this movie. All right, guys, so I've kind of ranted on long enough. I've talked enough about how great this movie is. If you guys aren't going to see this movie, you're missing out. With that being said, hopefully you guys like this review. If you guys did, hit the like button down below, hit that bell for notifications, and as always, please hit that subscription button. It always helps. Also, guys, let me know in the comments down below if you've seen the movie, what you think of it. Let me know your thoughts of the movie. I would love to hear from you guys, your thoughts on this movie. If you didn't like it, let me know what you didn't like about it, guys. That's what this channel is all about, leaving your thoughts. You are free to speak your mind here. Anyway, guys, that is my review of Bill and Ted Face the Music. Go see it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love all of you guys, and we will catch you on the other side. Peace.